Hi folks. Alright. So it is pretty late right now, and I did finish chapters 36 to 40 of the Blade itself. I am now officially at let's see here. Uh, 86%. I've got 1 hour to go. Got 1 hour to go, and I'm done with this book. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna push myself through. I'm gonna push myself through. 1 hour to go. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna go to bed. I'm gonna push myself through and get these 5 chapters read. Well, actually 4 chapters. Anyways, so 36 through 40, we get like a huge sequence, which I did not catch the first time I read the book. I did not catch this sequence at all. I don't even remember. If you ask me what was the most amazing part of the entire book, I could not tell you. But reading it on this device, I can tell you. And that is the opening of this Tower of the Maker. Okay. Tower of the Maker. That scene was literally so well written. So well written. And I am on my main book channel. I'm going to do a full review of the book. And I'm definitely going to do when I finish the 4 chapters I have left in this book. At 5 chapters left in this book, or whatever. I will do a full review on my main channel before I forget anything that I read. So anyways, the First of the Mage is, so we all know, First of the Mage, Logan, and the Mage's Apprentice have arrived, where, you know, the king's located and everything like that. And they're trying to find, the Inquisition is trying to find proof that this guy is not who he claims to be. Because apparently he is really old. And he was involved in a lot of the events that shaped this empire and the Union. And apparently he served as Chief Lector, or Chief something. And the thing about it is, with him, is that, you know, he's having this, kind of like this dinner with these people, and of course, which includes members of the Inquisition. And literally, he's being demanded to show proof that he's who he's claimed to be, because supposedly he broke this table. And he's like, no, you know, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to ruin, you know, this furniture. He ends up breaking the guy's chair. So they go to the house of the Tower of the Maker, and he has the key that will allow him to enter. And Gotha, who is very much, you know, he has a, you know, I want to say about this character, you know, it's like when you reread the book, especially a book that you really don't remember much of what happened in the book, you kind of don't realize how twisted this man actually is. And I don't know if he changes in the 2nd and 3rd book. I really do hope he does. But he has the Inquisition, like, basically in the distance. Like, all he has to do is give the signal, and they will come in, and they will arrest Logan and these other 2. And so he goes, and he has the key, and he goes and puts in the lock, and he turns it, and you hear a click. Now, if I hear a click, it means that it's opened, or like it's opening. And of course, he's about ready to signal the Inquisition to come and get this guy, when all of a sudden, the door opens. And literally, Gotha's like, what? Like, this is not supposed to be happening. And he has this guy called Giselle that's with him. Apparently, what happened was he went and used his magic to allow Giselle to win. And so he's in there, and Gotha and Logan and all that. And he's there to collect something from the House of the Maker, and he kind of goes into like the history of these different things. And by the time they actually get out of the tower, they're not the same as when they walked in. They are not the same. And it's interesting about how this tower changes Gotha's, like, impression of this guy. Like, yeah, he now truly believes this man, or at least I hope he truly believes this man is who he claims to be. And then we have West acting like a total fucking idiot. He gets very super violent, and I believe I read that he even attacks his own sister, which kind of shows that he has inherited his father's very, very nasty, violent tendency. Because it's mentioned about how, oh, father would hold us after, after one of his violent outbursts. So yes, West has inherited that kind of anger that he has. I don't think towards all women, but mainly, like, it doesn't take much to set him off. And yeah. And then, we have, like, Logan, who really I believe he gets upset with Giselle, because Giselle's like, I've never met any flat noses, and he's like, yeah, they're everywhere in the north. Like, they primarily exist, in the north. There are still some, in the Union, but they primarily are all up there in the north. And he's like, yeah, you don't want to meet them. You do not want to meet them. And they were actually created by the Maker, which is something else that I did not remember from reading this book the first time around. I guess I was not really ready for Joe Abercrombie's style of writing, but that's just, my own opinion on that. Alright, so I have 4 or 5 more chapters left in this book, and then I'm done. And I have 1 hour left in this book, according to its whatever you want to call it. But I'm definitely going to read this. I don't have to be at work today until 5. See here. Oh Lord, I can't even see right. 4:30. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will still be able to get a good night's sleep and everything, but I kind of want to get this book finished, because I do have 1 hour left to read it. And yes, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, folks, guess what? I finished the book. It is over. The blade itself is done. Yeah, it's like 5:05 in the morning right now. I'm so glad I come at 4. So I've got like under 12 hours before I have to go back in and do it all over again. So I finished the book, and the last couple of chapters were basically trying to get out of the city. And this included the explosion of one of the practicals, which was amazing. And then, of course, Gotha is going somewhere else because he's been appointed, so he's no longer needed in the city, and he's going off to England. How you pronounce it? All right. So yeah. So the book's done, and really not a very long section that I'm going to be doing, but it seems like to me in the last one of the chapters that I was reading, that they were just really been determined to try to capture these four people, because of the fact that even though he is who he claims to be, and he is such an important figure in the history and development of that part of the Union, and that he actually helped to found the Union, he is still considered to be too dangerous. But they kind of are now kind of like forgetting about them temporarily because they've got more important pressing things to worry about. And of course, Gotha is like, now he's like the guardian of West's sister, and then we find that the only female practical or member of the Inquisition actually walks slower than he does, Gotha, which is weird. So yeah, and the story ends as like, why do I do this? Why do I? So overall, reading the second time, I absolutely enjoyed it. This book was really good. And reading it the second time, especially on a device that forces me to actually pay attention to the words, is really amazing. And I had a blast reading this book. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading Before They Are Hanged. However, I'm going to wait until I get a couple of the books I am currently reading read, and then I can read that book. So I'm really trying to focus more of like reading the books instead of trying to hit the 12 book goal, because I've got all year to hit it and I'm not really worried about it. Alright, that is it. That is all of them. I absolutely had a blast. I have 3 credits on my Audible, so instead of purchasing Rhythms of War, I'm just going to go ahead and get it on Audible. Hopefully I can get it on Audible. I gotta check. Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't get it on to get your Audible credit. Alright, anyways, that is my video, and I will be doing this again with Rhythms of War. However, I'm going to be dividing these up into parts, so it'll be like the part, and then you're going to have the kind of like the interlude, and then you're going to have the next part, another interlude, and the next part, on and on. So that is what I'm going to do. So basically, as soon as that section is done, I will put them together and everything. Now, here's something. Alright, so if I'm not able to do what I want to do with taking all these bits and putting them together, then I will just upload them as is. That's why I have titles on them instead of just, little numbers. Alright, so let me go ahead and see if I can get Rhythms of War on my Audible, and hopefully everything will turn out great. I'll see you around.